Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Catherine, and today we have a fun game-focused lesson for you.
That's right. Today we have an elementary lesson, and it's all about playing board games.
Okay, and the game in today's lesson is a famous one. It's called Monopoly.
Monopoly.
I don't know if you have this in your countries. It's a game in which you try to earn money and sell property and buy property. That means hotels, houses, things like
Right.
that. And it's very, very famous. We're going to learn more about this game today, so let's take a listen to our dialogue for the first time.
Hey, why did you take that money? You are such a cheater. I should send you to jail.
I am not cheating. When you pass go, you collect $200. Everyone knows that.
Well, you can't just take the money. You have to ask the bank for money. And I'm the banker.
Banker,
Yes?
can I have my $200, please?
Sure. Here you are, $200. Thank you. Please come again. Now it's my turn to roll the dice.
All right, we're back. So we saw some very interesting words there. The dialogue is two people playing, so why don't we take a look at some of those words used in language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
This first word we can hear when we play games. It's not a good thing to be, but it's very common. The word is cheater.
A cheater. All right, and that's a noun. A person that is a cheater. If somebody says you are a cheater, what does that mean?
This means the person is not honest at games. For example, Marco, you and I are playing a card game, and you go to the bathroom. And then I take the cards I want. I hide the cards I don't want. That's called cheating.
Right.
Okay, the verb to cheat. But here, a person who cheats is a cheater.
Okay.
You're a cheater. He's a cheater.
All right, and remember that you say cheater, right? Because sometimes many people that are learning English would say you are a cheat, right?
Now, cheater here is the noun. That means it's the name of the person who does this. He is a cheater. They are cheaters.
Okay. And, well, moving on, sometimes cheaters and people that steal things are sent to jail.
That's right. So maybe if you go to a casino and you cheat, you use a cell phone or you use some kind of a computer device to win money. This is called cheating, and the casino will send you to jail.
All right, so jail is the place where people go. What's the difference between prison and jail?
Basically, they're the same thing.
Okay, so
Two words for the same thing. People who break the law, people who do bad things go to jail, not just cheaters.
all right. So now you have another word. Maybe you've seen that show Prison Break, and so jail is pretty much the same thing. So the show could have been called Jailbreak.
That's right, but yeah.
All right. So moving on, our third word is the person who's handling money says, well, you know what? I'm the banker, a banker.
Cheater, banker. So you know already, banker is probably a person. This is a job. So a banker is a person who works at a bank.
Okay. So, but what about the person that helps you when you go to the bank, like when that gives you the money and the bank teller? It's not the same as a banker, right?
No, generally speaking, a person who gives you money and collects your money, this is a teller.
A bank teller.
A bank teller. But a banker is someone who works in the bank to make big decisions, to invest money, to give loans.
Okay. So usually maybe managers or executives are bankers.
That's right.
Okay. And moving on to our last word here, we have a verb, and that is to collect.
Right. So in the conversation between these two people, Karen, the woman, says, when you pass go, you collect $200.
Okay. So to collect means to get.
That's right. To get or to take. So at the end of every month, my landlord comes to my house to collect rent. That means to take money from me for the house or the apartment.
Okay, good. So now you have another way to say to get or to acquire.
That's right.
All right, so very interesting. Why don't we go back, listen to this dialogue again, and we'll take a look at all of these words that we just saw. And when we return, we'll take a look at some phrases.
Hey, why did you take that money? You are such a cheater. I should send you to jail.
I am not cheating. When you pass go, you collect $200. Everyone knows that.
Well, you can't just take the money. You have to ask the bank for money. And I'm the banker.
Banker,
Yes?
can I have my $200, please?
Sure. Here you are, $200. Thank you. Please come again. Now it's my turn to roll the dice.
All right, we're back. So now let's take a look at 3 key phrases on Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Marco, you're such a cheater.
Such a cheater. I'm not a cheater, but what do you mean when you say you are such a cheater? So we
This-
know cheater, right?
That's right. You could say this for many different things. You're such a liar.
Ah,
You are such a
such a terrible person.
You're such a bad person.
Right.
Normally we say this when we want to criticize someone, when we want to say something mean or negative. You're such a means you're really a bad person. You're really a cheater.
Right. So obviously because we are using a noun, we can't really use an adverb, right? If you're saying an adjective like, I am very happy. You can't say, you are very cheater.
No. You
Right.
wouldn't say that. You have to use a different sentence structure to give emphasis. So in this case, you could say cheater.
Right.
Okay, but that's not as strong, is it?
As such a cheater.
You are such a cheater. That
Right.
means, gosh, you're a really big cheater.
Right, exactly. So this is the way that you would use that structure, such a, and then a noun that is describing this person, right?
You could also use it for positive statements like, you're such a good friend.
Very good. So then you are using the adjective, you are such a good friend.
You're such a nice person.
Okay, excellent. All right, so moving on, we saw another interesting phrase when he said, well, you know what? You can't just take the money. So what does he mean when he says can't just?
Okay, we could say you can't take the money. This is basically a rule. You can't take the money. But you can't just take the money means there are other things you have to do before you take the money. Okay? You have to, in this case, ask the banker for the money. Or, for example, if I want to drive a car, I can't just go buy a car. I need to first get a driver's license. I need to learn how to drive.
Right.
I need to register. So you can't just here means there's some things we need to do before this happens.
Right. You can't just means you can't do these things that easily. You have to do other things before it, as you said.
Exactly.
Okay, so very interesting. We will try to use that one in a sentence. But moving on to our last phrase, when the person said, you know what, all right, you want your $200? Here you are.
Here you are. So sometimes people think that this phrase means you are here.
Right. Which it could in some cases.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So basically you're saying,
I found you. Here you are.
I found you. But in this case, this doesn't make sense. We're talking
Right.
about money. We're talking about a game. So if you think about this, here you are, you can imagine someone is giving someone else a thing.
An object.
So in the case of the bank teller, remember we were talking about getting money at a bank? A bank teller might say, here you are, sir, here's your money, and then
Right.
give you some money. So this is something we say in English when we give something to someone else.
Right. Because otherwise, I guess it's strange if you just, give something to someone and you don't say anything, right? You need to say something.
And if you say, here, that's very rude.
Yeah.
So this is a polite way to say, please take this.
Right.
This is for you.
There you go.
You might hear this at at a restaurant. Here you are. Here's your food. Here you are.
Right. Okay, it's a very useful phrase. And so I think it's time for us to listen to this dialogue again. And we'll be back to talk a little bit more.
Hey, Why did you take that money? You are such a cheater. I should send you to jail.
I am not cheating. When you pass go, you collect $200. Everyone knows that.
Well, you can't just take the money. You have to ask the bank for money. And I'm the banker.
Banker,
Yes?
can I have my $200, please?
Sure. Here you are, $200. Thank you. Please come again. Now it's my turn to roll the dice.
All right, we're back. So a lot of interesting words there, a lot of interesting phrases. They're really interesting and very useful. So remember to try and use such a you can't just, or here you are when you're giving something to someone.
That's right. These are really great. And I recommend also playing some games. Games are a great way to improve your language skills. Monopoly, the game that they're playing in this dialogue, is a really fun one for numbers.
Yeah.
Right? Because the whole point of the game, the whole purpose of the game is to make the most money.
Right.
Of anyone playing. And this is a really fun one because you get to buy houses and hotels and there's simple street names and place names.
Yeah.
Like Park Avenue or
Yeah.
the Boardwalk. So you'll learn a lot of really great things about American culture and English.
Yeah, it's a really good game, very popular. I'm sure they have it in your language, but if you could get it in English, that would be really great. And also another really good game to play with your friends to practice your vocab is Scrabble.
Scrabble, that's hard. Scrabble is a game about words.
Yeah.
And so basically you have to make words out of letters.
Yeah.
And whoever has the most interesting words, unique words, that person wins.
So obviously, it's a great game to improve your vocab because you also learn some words that maybe you didn't know before and your friends knew. So it's really fun to play. Obviously, don't play with any native English speakers because they might win. But it's a really cool game to play if you have any friends who are also learning English. You can get together, play Scrabble, and it's a fun way to improve your vocab and to also fight a little bit because all the time some people are trying to make up new words that don't really exist.
We call them cheaters.
Cheaters.
So yeah, let us know about your game experiences. Do you like to play games? Do you have a favorite game? Practice some of these and let us know how they go.
All right, we'll see you guys there. EnglishPod. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another lesson at English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I am Catherine, and today we're talking about shopping online. So this is an elementary level lesson.
That's right. We are going to shop for things online. So before we get started with this dialogue, let's take a look at one word we have for you on Vocabulary Preview.
Vocabulary preview.
Okay, the word we're looking at today is eBay.
eBay. Okay, so this is a proper noun. It's a actual website, ebay.com.
That's right. It's kind of like a store on the internet for people who want to buy used things.
Okay, so maybe if you have a TV that you don't want anymore, you go on eBay, you put pictures of it online, and you offer it, and anyone can buy it.
That's right. So you can be a buyer. That means you buy things, or a seller. So you sell things.
So this is interesting. Usually you find used things on eBay, but you can also find new things.
You can. It's kind of like the Chinese website Taobao.
I've actually even seen people selling cars on eBay.
Cars.
Yeah.
I can't imagine buying a car on the internet.
Really? No, they have even very luxurious cars on eBay. So we'll talk about more about online shopping a little bit later on. But now, why don't we listen to our dialogue for the first time, and then we'll come back in just a little bit.
What are you doing?
I'm just looking for a nice pillow on eBay.
You're shopping for a pillow online? That's absurd.
Why? I don't have to leave the house or browse a dozen stores to find what I'm looking for. This way, I just search for it online, quick and easy.
I see. But how do you pay for it? How do you know you aren't going to be ripped off by the seller?
Well, the website handles a point system where if the seller does something wrong, people comment negatively, and then you know that he or she may not be trustworthy.
Wow, that sounds pretty safe. So how do you pay? Do you need a credit card?
You can use a credit card or your debit card. They also let you use the PayPal system, which is really safe and fast. I have never had any problems with someone hacking my information or anything.
Do you think I can find a sweater for my dog online?
You can find anything. Are you sure you want to start shopping online, though? Once you step into this world, there is no turning back.
Let's do it!
All right, we're back. So now we have 4 key words for you on language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
The first word you might have already heard us use already. We're talking about going on the internet to do something. So we say to go online.
Okay, so by saying that you are going online, you say that you are using the internet.
That's right. So you can shop for something online. Online means the internet, right? On the internet. So we don't say in the internet. We say we're on the internet. For example, he's been on the internet all day long. I want to use the computer.
Okay, so I can say he's been online all day long.
That's right.
Okay, so that is online. And when we go online and we are looking through different websites, or maybe we are looking at items on eBay, we are browsing.
Okay, the verb here is to browse. Now, to browse is to look at, but not carefully, just to look at with maybe the idea to shop or to buy later.
Okay, so you can use browse for online things, but you can also use it for physical things, like you are in a shop, you are browsing.
That's right. So I can go to a clothing store and I can browse. For example, if the woman at the clothing store says, would you like to buy something? I say, no, I'm just browsing. I'm just looking.
Okay, very good. And then when they were talking about eBay and how it works, the person mentioned that they have a point system.
All right, a point system. Now, this is something you hear about a lot on websites these days. For example, many websites have different users. And so how do I know which users, or which, in this case, sellers, are the best? Well, we have a point system. More points means better.
Better.
Fewer points means worse.
Right.
You might also call this a star system. So basically, a point system is a way to show who is a very good community member and who is not.
That's right. And that takes us to our next word. So if a person has a lot of points in their point system, that means they are trustworthy.
Okay, trustworthy is an adjective. He is trustworthy. They are trustworthy. This means that I can trust them. Okay?
They are reliable.
That's right. So I don't think they will lie to me. I don't think they will cheat me.
Okay. So a person can be trustworthy. A company can be trustworthy.
Right. Or you could say, he never pays me back. He's not very trustworthy when I lend him money.
Okay. Very good. So 4 key words there. Why don't we listen to them again in our dialogue, and we'll be back shortly.
What are you doing?
I'm just looking for a nice pillow on eBay.
You're shopping for a pillow online? That's absurd.
Why? I don't have to leave the house or browse a dozen stores to find what I'm looking for. This way, I just search for it online, quick and easy.
I see. But how do you pay for it? How do you know you aren't going to be ripped off by the seller?
Well, the website handles a point system where if the seller does something wrong, people comment negatively, and then you know that he or she may not be trustworthy.
Wow, that sounds pretty safe. So how do you pay? Do you need a credit card?
You can use a credit card or your debit card. They also let you use the PayPal system, which is really safe and fast. I have never had any problems with someone hacking my information or anything.
Do you think I can find a sweater for my dog online?
You can find anything. Are you sure you want to start shopping online, though? Once you step into this world, there is no turning back.
Let's do it!
All right, we're back. So now we have 3 key phrases that we saw in our dialogue, and let's take a look at those now in Fluency Builder.
Fluency builder.
Well, the first phrase we have here is related to that last word we had, trustworthy. Someone is not trustworthy if they will rip you off. Okay.
Okay, so it's a phrasal verb, to rip you off, or to rip off.
To rip someone off. That's right. So, they ripped him off. He ripped her off. This means to steal money from someone or to cheat someone.
Right. So maybe if a pair of shoes usually at a store costs $50 and then your friend sells them to you for $200, your friend ripped you off.
That's right. He ripped you off. That's not a good friend. He's not very trustworthy.
All right. So now when they were talking about how safe it is to make purchases online, the person explained that it's pretty safe and that no one has ever hacked his information.
Okay, so this is an important verb that has to do with the internet. To hack information is to steal information on the internet. So someone who hacks, who steals this information is called a hacker. Okay, and this is something that's very bad. We want to go to secure and safe websites because we don't want people to hack our personal information.
That's right. Okay, so the verb is to hack. And finally, in the end, when they were going to look for a sweater for a dog, the person said, you know what, this is great, but are you sure you want to start to shop online? Once you do this, there is no turning back.
Oh, I love this phrase. There's no turning back. So this is, well, you think about someone who's leaving. You say, there's no turning back. You can't go back. You can't return to where you were.
Right.
This is something we say as a warning. So listen, this is your final decision. If you say yes, you cannot change your mind. You
Right.
cannot say no later.
So you can't turn back later.
That's right. So there's no turning back now.
Okay, no turning back. Very good. Interesting phrases, key words, and everything. So we should listen to this dialogue one last time, and we'll be back to talk with you a little bit more.
Website handles a point system where if the seller does something wrong, people comment negatively, and then you know that he or she may not be trustworthy.
Wow, that sounds pretty safe. So how do you pay? Do you need a credit card?
You can use a credit card or your debit card. They also let you use the PayPal system, which is really safe and fast. I have never had any problems with someone hacking my information or anything.
Do you think I can find a sweater for my dog online?
You can find anything. Are you sure you want to start shopping online though? Once you step into this world, there is no turning back.
Let's do it!
All right, so now talking about online shopping. Have you ever bought anything online? Use your credit card online?
I have. I've used my credit card on Amazon.com to purchase books on the internet. But I know that you are much more of a fan of online shopping. You use the Chinese website Taobao all the time.
Yeah. Well, actually, I wrote this dialogue, and it's kind of based on something real because, you know, sometimes going to the stores, it can be great and you can see things and physically touch them. But I'm a little bit more practical. I know exactly what I want, or maybe I saw it. So I don't want to have to go to the stores and deal with, you know, haggling or negotiating, or sometimes it's even more expensive. So I just, you know, from the comfort of my own home, just put in my my debit card number and buy things online, and I get it delivered overnight.
Well, and you never go shopping now. Well, shopping, you have to go to the clothing store for clothes, the video game store for video games. And on the internet, it's all in one place. You're
Yeah.
at home, you're in your pajamas, you use your credit
Exactly.
card.
And the cool thing is that you can even, sometimes you want to buy small things. Like in this case, maybe a pillow, or you want to buy, like recently I bought some candles, some decorative candles. So, I don't know, do you really want to go out downtown, look for the candle shop where you can get them? You can just do it online.
Do it online. Let us know. Do you shop on the internet? If you do, what kind of services do you use? What stores do you go to?
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Ridiculous. Absurd. Be cheated violently. Be stolen from. Rip off. Reliable or dependable. Worthy of being trusted. Trustworthy. Gain unauthorized access to another computer system. Hack. To inspect something leisurely and casually. Browse. A system of evaluation based on awarding points. Point system. A plastic card that enables the holder to pay on credit. Credit card. Not to halt the advance of, not to regret. No turning back.
Let's try that faster.
Reliable or dependable, worthy of being trusted. Trustworthy. A system of evaluation based on awarding points. Point system. To inspect something leisurely and casually. Browse. Ridiculous. Absurd. A plastic card that enables the holder to pay on credit. Credit card. Be cheated violently. Be stolen from. Rip off. Gain unauthorized access to another computer system. Hack. Not to halt the advance of, not to regret. No turning back.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Absurd. I think what you are saying is simply absurd. Absurd. People think it's absurd to learn physics, but I think that is absurd. Absurd. That was an absurd decision you made, and now it's going to cost us millions. Rip off. My neighbor got ripped off at the market yesterday. He paid double of what I did. Rip off. Many mechanics try and rip you off by overcharging you. Rip off. You bought that car for $1,000. You got ripped off. I would have bought it for $500. Trustworthy. John has proven to be a very trustworthy person in our company. Trustworthy. The accountant at our company was not entirely trustworthy. Trustworthy. I would tell him, but I don't think he is very trustworthy. Hack. Someone hacked into my computer and read all my emails. Hack. The FBI computer was hacked by terrorists. Hack. Illegally hacking into someone's computer can be enough to sentence you to life in jail. No turning back. We are on our way to Hawaii. There is no turning back now. No turning back. If you make this purchase, there is no turning back. You can't return it or exchange it. No turning back. He abandoned his wife and daughter and never turned back.